That's my father in the middle, my Uncle Charles on the left, and my Uncle Bill on the right. All three men attended Kansas State, so naturally I wanted to go there too. And if you couldn't tell from the uniforms, all three men bravely served their country during World War II. My Uncle Charles in the Army Medical Corps, my father as a naval fighter pilot, and my Uncle Bill as a mortarman for the 95th Division. Now, the fact that these three men are wildcats does not mean that World War II heroes are exclusive to Kansas State. Of the brave men and women of Kansas who volunteered for their country, there are just as many Jayhawks as there are wildcats. My Uncle Charles, in fact, was a physician who held degrees from both schools. We lost Uncle Charles in 2003, making him part of a rather depressing statistic. You see, during World War II, 16 million people enlisted to serve their country. As of 2008, there were little more than 400,000 living World War II veterans remaining, and in the span of 1 year, we've lost close to 1/4 of those numbers. Based on recent 2008 statistics, we are losing World War II veterans at a rate of approximately 1,000 per day. Of all the wars in recent memory, it was World War II that truly threatened our very existence as a nation. And yet it wasn't until 2004, almost 60 years after the Japanese surrender, that a memorial to the men and women who fought in that war was finally erected on the Mall in Washington, D.C. Sadly, many of the remaining World War II veterans are either too old or unable to afford a trip to our nation's capital to experience this monument built in their honor. That is where Honor Flight Network comes in. The Honor Flight Network is a non-profit organization created solely to honor all of America's veterans for their sacrifices by transporting our heroes to Washington, D.C. to visit and reflect at their memorials. Currently, top priority is given to those senior veterans, World War II survivors, along with those other veterans who may be terminally ill. The Honor Flight Network's mission is to do whatever it takes to fulfill the dreams of our veterans and help our senior heroes travel absolutely free. Subsequent to the World War II veterans, efforts will then be focused on our Korean War and then Vietnam War veterans, honoring them in the same way. In October 2009, my wife and I were given the highest honor of serving as guardians on an honor flight from Kansas to Washington, D.C., accompanying my father and my Uncle Bill, now 83 and 86 respectively, along with 120 of their brothers and sisters in arms. I hope you'll take just a few minutes to share in some of our experiences on this special journey and see what honor flights are truly all about. Wichita Mid-Continent Airport. There's Dad and there's Uncle Vern. Not too thrilled they gave us KU colors for these hats and stuff, but you gotta love the K-State jacket Uncle Vern's wearing. Darren Sproul's number, the works.
1/3 of the country put on uniforms and went. The other 2/3 made this the greatest industrial might the world has ever seen. The greatest country on the planet Earth.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
it is that sense that every American should have, how much we respect you, how much we appreciate your service to our country, how we know that you sacrificed, and in all honesty, how much we love you.
Honor Flight is a non-profit organization whose sole purpose is to fly veterans to visit the memorial dedicated in their honor. Honor Flight has flown nearly 20,000 veterans to the memorial and has a waiting list of over 7,000. It is these brave Americans to whom we owe a debt of gratitude. But our time to say thank you is running out. Honor Flight is our way of paying tribute to those who gave so much. To make a tax-free donation, please call the number on the screen or visit honorflight.org. Please join me in supporting our World War II veterans and Honor Flight.
Hi, my name is Dia Curtis, and I'd like to share with you some of the cool things my dad does at work. He is a federal employee that works as an RC&D project coordinator for the government and actually helps people. He gets to work for really cool leaders from around our region to improve the quality of life in our 8 counties. His RC&D has won state, regional, and national awards for doing really cool things in Kansas. Some of them are: in Edwards County, they started a recycling project that sells 3 semis of recycled goods every month instead of putting that all in the ground. The council's partnership with Wildlife and Parks has helped landowners in 28 counties improve nearly 10,000 acres of wildlife habitat. At Camp Pawnee, they have year-round power access for RVs to go camping in. Here, they wrote grants and helped people in Claflin build playgrounds. In the last 3 years, they have helped establish community energy projects where mid-sized wind turbines are refurbished, and some even built brand new right here in Kansas to use all the great wind to produce cheaper power and move all of us away from fossil fuels. Speaking of fossil fuels, my dad was telling me about groundwater pollution, and the council has the only grant in the Midwest that evaluates and recovers abandoned buried fuel tanks. The cool thing is that it increased the property values on these sites by removing abandoned gas stations. Plus, it protects the groundwater. Another project that helps our region is fire protection in the country. The council helps the firefighters learn the advantages in master fire plans, substations, tankers, shuttling, and dry hydrants. Yep, dry hydrants. But what they do is hook up to them and fill the tankers so they don't have to come back to town and get more water. This way they can attack the fire and put it out quicker. The haul water permit east of McPherson gives much better protection to the farmers and folks. Also, the haul water project lowers the homeowners' insurance rates.
One exciting project near Cheney Lake in Reno County, my dad, his council, and volunteers work with local leaders in Kansas Department of Commerce to build the St. Joe Fire Station, Safe House, and Community Center over the past 3 years.
The council has another project where hunters donate deer meat. The people then process the meat, grind it, and package it, and then they give it to the less fortunate. Dad says that people's septic systems leak and over time causes problems to their well water. To fix it, they have to replace the field lines with some that look like pool liners or thick garbage bags in the ground with gravel and cool plants that use some of the nutrients and are really clean to the water. My dad says that water is more valuable than anything, and we take advantage of it and never appreciate how important it is. My sisters and brothers and I enjoy Safety Day. My mom, dad, and council, and a bunch of volunteers every spring teach hundreds of 5th graders from many counties about safety in their homes, yards, garden, and vehicles. They cover everything from chemicals, safety belts, electricity, guns, and storms to first aid. The Safety Day in Barton County gives out t-shirts, grab bags, and lots of cool stuff for free. In Ellsworth, guys at the prison fix bicycles. Dad was telling the other day that in the past 5 years, these guys have volunteered to fix over 17,000 bikes and wheelchairs. What they can't fix, they scrap and sell to pay for parts. Recycled bikes from landfills actually can make a difference to people all over the world. Their bikes are all over Kansas, half the U.S., and 10 foreign countries.
If you can't find their number, call us, and we'll help connect you to RC&D leaders in your local area. Help bring these kinds of projects and more to your community.
All programs, projects, and services of Central Prairie RC&D and its Honor Flights Committee are offered completely on a non-discriminatory basis.